All right, so we were with you a few weeks ago to present to you the first touch on the use of community development block grant funds. This slide is just to remind you about what that breakdown was. You moved to approve those or to recommend a public hearing on these three. Just to highlight those, planning and administration is capped at $41,000 for continued use for staff salaries and benefits to administer the city's CDBG program. You have your human services allocation for continued support of Southwest Youth and Families Community Resource Center, formerly New Futures program at Alcove, and your capital funds of $158,568 for the replacement of play equipment at Chelsea Park. I will note that since then, it does not change in terms of the recommendation, but I just want you to be aware that after failed negotiation attempts with Harbor Group Management, which is the ownership over at Alcove, after many attempts trying to reach them and discuss a leasing arrangement at the Alcove, Southwest Youth and Family Services New Futures program has decided to terminate their lease there at the end of 2024. They are committed, obviously, to providing advocacy and out-of-school time support for youth and families at Alcove, and so they're relocating at Navos, which is on the same campus at 1210136 Southwest. It's located, as I said, on the same campus as the Alcove units. That space meets all of their program requirements, such as adequate programming space, offices, accessibility, internet, bathroom, and storage. So they are very enthusiastic about this new endeavor and looking forward to continuing to serve our youth and families at the Alcove. But did want to let you know that they're a bit of a change of location based on Harbor Group's lack of response. And with that, we'll take any questions or recommendations.
We're gonna come back to you in a moment because we have to pass the consent agenda.
Oh.
But thank you. Stay right there.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Councilmember Ramada?
So moved.
Is there a second? Seconded? Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Councilmember Garcia?
Aye.
All right. Consent approved unanimously. All right. Now, are there any questions for our Human Services Division around the community development block grant projects? Actually, wait. Is there a motion for the community development block grants? Councilmember Moore?
I move to approve the proposed fiscal year 2025 CDBG admin, human services, and capital funding allocations.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Are there any questions for our Human Services Division? Councilmember Moore?
I just want to speak on the motion and say thank you for the update about the Alcove apartments. That was very nimble that they were able to find a location within the same footprint. Is the fact that it's in the same complex is very reassuring, but is there any communication that needs to happen to residents, or people will know that, or how does that work?
Yeah, they will be communicating with the residents there at Alcove, and particularly the parents and families that are already enrolled in their programs. They'll just be meeting at Revel Hall right there. We're pretty confident that they've already been in conversation with families. I think families are looking forward to having, I know Councilmember Mata, you've met families over at Revel Hall as well. I think they're looking forward to having that location.
Any other questions, comments?
Just some comments, Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for the update. Thank you for the work. I do want to share concern that the property owner ended the lease and did not work with our local nonprofit that serves so many in that area, especially considering that this property is the largest rental property that we have in the city of Buren and has continued to increase rent increases. I've heard from families there that have been displaced, that have been treated very harshly, and it's of concern as we continue to deal with pricing, housing insecurity, and affordable housing. That someone that paid the largest amount ever for a property in Buren does not want to work with our local community nonprofits to serve those there. So thank you for your work there. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments for this motion on the Community Development Block Grant Project? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of approving the recommendation, please raise your hand or say aye. That's the unanimous approval of the 2025 Community Development Block Grants.